Hi, this is Danny Doyle, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Top Tier. Are they tops? Are they bottoms? I don't know what I'm calling this series. But today we're doing Fire Emblem 7, and anyone who's watched the channel at all knows that I have a well-documented hatred of Fire Emblem 7. So in order to help me power through the pain of dealing with the Elebian cast, I brought on a guest. Tatsu, do you want to tell us a little bit about your channel and what you do?
Yeah, hi, it's 4 AM in the morning. I don't know why I'm talking about tops and bottoms on this channel, but nice to be here. I'm Tatsunami, of course. I've been doing a whole bunch of Fire Emblem content on my channel, of course, Blazing Blade, Binding Blade, and Sacred Stones. But I don't know a ton about this series. Well, I know a little bit, but I guess that's my little flair that I add to the table. And I love FE7 and its cast and its story to bits. So hopefully I can provide a little bit more information, at least for this video topic here. So my link to that channel will be in the description, of course. And I'd greatly appreciate if you could come by and well, say hi, I guess.
Yeah, check out her channel. There's some great stuff on there. In particular, at least for me, the most helpful is you go through all of the character supports in videos so that I don't have to hit end turn with Eliwood and Hector standing next to each other so they can become better bros over the course of 20 minutes while we're supposed to be rushing to save his dad.
Right, so like, yeah, well, I mean, for this video I did all my homework. I've read through every single support conversation now. So they will all be slowly being uploaded to my channel. So yeah, if you want to take a look at them, go right ahead. But anyway, we have a lot to get through, I think. We
do, and I have a couple of disclaimers to start out. So we put everyone who's definitely like a little baby in baby tier, because we don't want to talk about them. Lynn is 19 in the American version, and we have decided to go with that, just because, like, we want to talk about the lords, right? Like, they're really interesting characters. And while it is, like, it is interesting, I will say, in being generous, that they changed the age through localization. I think we're just going to choose to go with that one, so that we're not talking about a child. Other than that, I think we've caught everyone who's very young. Will, actually, I thought I moved Will in there. Will is canonically 17.
He's 17, but I think that's for the Lynn story, which takes place 1 year before the main story happens, so I don't know. I'm gonna leave this one up to you.
A friend of mine said that in his support with Raven, he says he's 17, which I don't know if that's true, since you're the support expert. But I would imagine, because Raven's not in episode Lynn.
Yeah, and you can't actually unlock, I didn't know this, but fun fact for all of you guys, you actually can't unlock any of the support conversations within the Lynn mode. You have to do, like, the later chapters, so...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I guess that makes sense that they would be in only Eliwood and Hector.
Yeah.
It just didn't occur to me. That makes sense, though, that you can't build them early on, because then you could, like, go in with an A support Cavaliers and just wreck shop.
Yeah, that'd be pretty hectic.
But speaking of Lynn mode, what are your thoughts on Lynn? Yeah, we can just go in order unless someone cries out to your heart of the list.
I might be causing a war here, but I only ship Lynn and Hector and no one else in terms of Lynn.
Oh, that's so base. Me too.
If you ship Lynn and Eliwood or Lynn and Wrath, then, well, we can't be friends, for one. I suppose we'll be doing both Hector and Lynn at the same time, then? If we're talking about this.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense, since they are the canonical pair. The mother of Lilina is Lynn. We've solved the shipping wars.
Absolutely. 100%, yeah. See, here's the thing. Again, like I said, I've done my homework. I've thought about a lot of these answers, of course. Hector's an interesting one because I think he's very courageous and very sort of like manly throughout the whole story in front of all the other characters. But because of that, I almost feel like he has a sort of side that he only shows to the one that he loves a lot, I feel.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like, well, I'm going to leave this up to you in terms of what I'm insinuating here, but, yeah, what do you think?
I get the feeling that maybe initially, like, prior to... Because he and Lynn have, like, very much a spat with each other, I would say, is the majority of their relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole bunch of banter going on throughout the whole thing.
I would say prior to meeting the one and only true love of his life, Lynn. Oh, we're gonna get so cancelled over this.
I don't care. I don't care if I get cancelled over this, because it's the truth, and it's nothing but the truth.
It is. We have to stand up for the truth. That is Absolutely. What I stand for on this channel. I think prior he was sort of like outwardly, maybe not toxic necessarily, but unhealthy in that, like, I need to be the top. I need to always be in control.
Yeah,
but I feel like in meeting
kind of
Lynn,
a deep characteristic.
Yeah,
I feel as well. Just to add to this, just a little bit. I think Hector's insecurities of that come from his whole brother, right? With Uther, of course, and he feels like he needs to one up himself, or he needs to prove that he can actually do stuff by himself. Because Uther's always looking down on him as a little brother, right?
Yeah. No, their dynamic is also really. Dynamic. I like their dynamic too. And I don't think Uther's like bad for doing that. But I think in meeting Lynn, Hector sort of like unlocked a side of himself that would end up putting him here in the bottom category.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's what I was insinuating. I wasn't going to say it out of my own mouth, but hey, you make the choices here. So
you say it out of my mouth instead. You say it out of my mouth instead.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think Lynn is more of a switch than a top, though. I think that she is willing to do and enjoys doing whatever role most pleases her partner, or that she thinks is best for her partner, and she thinks that the best thing for Hector is for him to be a little baby bottom subby. Are we late enough in the video that I don't get demonetized?
I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna say the same thing, but in a much more wholesome way, of course. Even throughout the game, when you play as Lynn and all that, she definitely does have femininity to her. So she gets a little, she gets some insecurities and stuff on Dread Isle, and she looks towards Eliwood for leadership and stuff. And at the very end, when you unlock the Hector Lynn ending, she'll just dive into Hector's arms at the end, right?
Yeah.
But she also has a very cold side. So what I'm trying to say, in a wholesome way, is that Switch makes sense. Yeah.
No. I like that you're drawing from the. I'm mostly pulling vibes, but you're drawing from the actual deep character supports.
Yeah. At least I'm trying to. I mean, it's going to get rougher and rougher as we get to the more obscure characters, but yeah, sure.
Well, we did mention one obscure character. Do you think Uther is a top?
100%.
Okay.
Not even a question, I don't think, yeah.
Okay, so we put him there. And not in a toxic way. I think that he knows what he wants.
He's a respectable man. Absolutely.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. It's sad. It's sad how he, like, I guess hiding the disease is a little bit toxic. Just sort of like, it comes from that pride.
His way of just, not making others worry and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's that sort of chadness in a sense that, it's commendable, I think.
Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Eliwood? Smellywood, as I call him.
Now, do you... Ellie Good. That is Ellie Good to you.
Smellywood.
Do you ship Eliwood and Ninin? Because I absolutely do, but I don't know what the general consensus is. You see, I'm not a huge in the Fire Emblem community myself. So I don't really know what the general consensus is, but...
I know that he definitely stabs Ninian. One way or the other.
Yeah. Jesus, okay. I mean, well, I suppose we're just getting into spoiler territory with this video, of course, but...
Oh, yeah. I mean, we do have endgame characters.
Okay. That is true, yeah. And Ninian does come back, so, hey, that's alright.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine.
Yeah, she's fine. She's completely fine.
I get Ace vibes from him, but obviously he does...
Say the same thing.
Yeah, so he does have a kid, but that's not a disqualifier, right?
That's what I'm saying. I think Eliwood's not interested in that sort of thing. He knows that it's his duty as the Thrain Marcus or whatever to pass it on to the next generation, right? So I feel like he's not really, going into that sort of thing with that mindset. He's just like, I need to have the next heir or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, absolutely get the Ace vibes. In fact, I get Ace vibes from Ninian as well, even though we're not ranking her. But still,
yeah. She is like 10,000 years old, so like I'm not trying to hashtag cancel Eliwood.
Yeah.
I just am not comfortable rating people who look like they're 6.
It's really difficult because we're rating anime characters, right? And a lot of these characters, like, you could make the argument that Ninian's 18, or you could make the argument that she's 12, right? It's so difficult. But yeah, all I'm saying is they have an incredibly cute little support conversation. So if you're interested, go check that out. But anywho, let's go to the Cavalia boys next, I guess.
I think Sane is a toxic switch. I think
We need a new category for him, actually. He needs to go into no bitches. I've read through all his supports.
Oh, no bitches?
And he doesn't deserve anyone. Yeah,
okay, I'll make a new one above. I'll make a new one above.
So canonically, fun fact, the only... Well, I don't know about the marriage options, because I haven't seen the endings, but I've seen all the supports. The only girls that fall for Sane in the end, I believe, are Priscilla and there was one other, I think. But he has like 9 conversations with like, so basically 7 other girls. They'll all shut him down, even with the A-rank conversation. So
that's so tragic.
I mean, yeah, I think no bitches is the right place. Can we even like send the message home even more and just send his tier to the very bottom? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, sure. I don't want to put him below baby. We'll put him below baby. He's separated.
Yeah, he's worse than a baby.
They are the wall that prevents him from reaching other people. The age of consent. I can already
see Rocher furiously typing in the comments, but that's okay.
Oh, does Rocher like Sane?
Yeah, unfortunately.
What do you think about Kent? I have little to go off of him because I don't use him because he sucks as a unit.
And I always preferred Kent over Sane for one. He's cool. I do think he's definitely more towards Ace or something. Definitely the cutest support that he has is with I think it's is it Fiora? I always get confused on the Pegasus sisters, but because they're both very serious characters, they get along really well. But
I won't be any help with the Pegasuses. I won't be any help with the Pegasuses. Imagine having 3 Pegasuses and naming them Fiora, Florina, and Farina. Like, how am I supposed to keep those apart?
Right, and I hate Pegasus sisters to begin with, or Pegasus knights to begin with, so, you know.
Well, I think, I generally like Pegasus knights, but I think, the one that, and we're not ranking her just because she looks young, I think we can bond over our hatred of this one, because... I don't remember her name. I hate her, though.
I did agree with that. I did agree with Florina being the worst. However, I think it's Farina, the one with the short hair. I fucking hate her. After reading all her supports, she's the greediest character you ever see. She's just like, I'm only in it for the money, and you don't really find out why. So.
But she's Wario coded. I love Wario.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not a huge fan of money scoundering characters, but that's just me personally.
She's Wario coded.
Okay.
But I guess where do we think that since we're talking about her, where do you think that she ends up? Are you going to argue for the no bitches tier?
I'm going to say no bitches, but for an entirely different reason. I've read the supports, and she's very much I'm a strong, independent woman. That's basically her support with Carla, actually. And she's just like, well, no, we women don't even need men to we can all work and make money ourselves and be independent. So I think she's no bitches, but in a way where she chooses to be no bitches, if that makes sense.
Would that not be closer to Ace, then? Like, complimentary no bitches?
I don't know, though, because I feel like Ace can still be romantic, right? Like with Ellie, with Kent there. Yeah.
So you think she's Aero Ace?
I think it's
or
just
Aero gay.
Completely different. She's just sort of like...
Just money?
Egotistical in a sense, where it's just like, I'm the only one that's cool to be around here, you know? Like... I mean... You make the final calls, obviously.
You are... Well, so you're the expert. I feel a little bit, icky putting her in no bitches specifically for being a romantic. I might add a tier for Aero Ace, then.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Add row below.
Formatting issues again, but that's okay.
And we'll go with...
It's not a Danny video without formatting issues, as you just said earlier.
It's not. That's correct. That's... Okay, here we go. Ooh. I won't have to do formatting issues. Okay.
Yeah?
Mantic.
Until we start putting more characters in, and then those columns become too wide, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah.
It'll get dragged down.
Up so you can see it a little bit better, though. Just the color.
That.
Gray,
okay.
Chuck a pink
there we
or
go.
Something.
Perfect.
Okay. Sure.
Dorcas, I think...
Dorcas
is...
Dorcas is, like, the best man that you want as a husband. He's literally out there risking his life, taking on criminals, taking on dragons, just so that he can pay money for his wife's like leg treatment or whatever. So I'm just saying he's just, you know, although I don't know, is he sexual or is he just like Ace?
I think he's... I don't necessarily get Ace vibes off of him. I don't think he's like got a super high sex drive, but I don't think he would describe himself as Ace. I think he's just a wife guy.
I feel like he'll just do whatever his wife wants him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually what I was about to say too. We're just on the same level right now.
Yeah. You know what though? Yeah, I am gonna throw Wrath into Ace. I don't see him having. So I think the only romantic conversation he has is with Lynn, and even then, it's very much a very, very romantic thing where it's just like, you know, let's just enjoy this moment together for as long as we can, sort of thing, right? So I think it's definitely an Ace character for sure. Well, even though he has Sue in FE6, but let's not go there.
Yeah, I mean, so FE7 is in many ways like an FE6 fanfic, right? And I think that the, like, who's parents is oftentimes just not super well thought about, especially in terms of, like, Rebecca can fucking die, and yet Wolt still gets born. Like, how does that happen?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, you know, one of my favorite ones is definitely Pent and Louise, and then the Claren and Klein, of course. I think that's a really interesting one where you don't even realize immediately, and then it gets revealed later down the line. I think that's really cool.
Well, and Pent and Louise are mentioned in FE6, so they're like characters who already exist in Elite.
I guess it's kind of like Hawkeye and Igreen as well, right?
Yeah, which I think is why those ones work. Do we want to talk about the three best boys and girls?
The three Nevada. Yeah, characters.
Pent is a bit of a meme on the channel, so I kind of want to put him in no bitches, even though he definitely has a bitch.
Oh, okay. Pent is definitely like one of my favorite characters in this game.
I just think he's overrated.
Oh, really? Okay, fair enough. I mean, my serious answer would just probably be like Switch, because, you know, Louise, right? But
I buy it.
If you want to chuck him in no bitches for your channel.
No. I'm gonna put him in Switch.
Okay. And I think similarly, Louise is they're both very, very loyal to each other, so just both of them go in there.
I can see a world in which Louise is in top, but I kind of I really like that, and I wish Fire Emblem would do this in modern games so that the Avatar couldn't just marry everyone. I like that they're a married couple already.
Yeah, that's true.
And they have that A support. Yeah, I think that's so cool.
Yeah. If you actually learn, I don't know if have you read this, the Pent support with Louise?
Where you get, like, the top combos, right?
Oh, actually, I don't know, because I read it through the settings menu, but basically, it talks about how Pent, because he's, like, a lord or whatever, there was a whole bunch of candidates for his wife, but then he ended up choosing Louise because she was the most genuine, and she wasn't trying to impress him, she was just like, I'm good at using the bow, and that's, like, my skill or whatever, and then everyone else was laughing, and they were just like, "Oh, that's not feminine at all." But then Pent's just like, "No, you're the most real one. Let me take you." And then so I don't know. I really do like that couple a lot because of that support conversation, personally.
That's really cool. I haven't read the supports. I knew they were in there because I knew the way you get them, and maybe because you said you read it through the supports menu. If you deploy Pent and Louise in there's a couple of specific chapters where they will have talk conversations, and those unlock the support. Like, those talks are the support conversations.
Yeah, I think the A rank one at least is the final map with the dragon.
Yeah,
is what I've heard.
The dragon map is one. I think it's Battle Before, or not Battle Before Dawn. Cog of Destiny is one, and then
the Limestone.
Victory or Death. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I'm surprised you remember the names of these maps.
Oh, FE7 map names go so hard. Sands of Time, Cog of Destiny, Battle Before Dawn. Like,
I don't know about battle
these names are.
That's not particularly too hard.
Battle preparations, but that's how you get Carla, the most who of all time.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
As soon as you recommended that tier, I was like, I know exactly who goes in here.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, you just stay there. I don't even need to add anything. To be fair, her supports don't really add much. She only has like 3 or 4 of them anyways.
I think she's a joke character more than anything because of barter.
See, I was joking around about something, right? I'm just like, she looks an awful lot like Lynn in terms of her face. And I was just like, I wonder if she was just a beta design of Lynn, that they were just like, no, this is too basic, let's just throw that out. And then later down the line, they were like, hold on, we might be able to use this for a recruitable character. So maybe, I don't know, but I don't have any evidence with that, but... Hawkeye, were we saying?
Yeah, we can go Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's a difficult one. I mean, yeah, immediately I would say Ace, but if you have another choice, he might be an Uther situation, I don't know.
I have not gotten his supports at all.
He only has like 3. He only has 3, and they're all like very much respectable. He has Louise, Pent, and then Ninian. So
well, and the Louise and Pent one can only go up to B rank too, so that's even less than anyone than normal.
And Ninian's is just talking about how dragons and humans should like live together or something. So there's nothing romantic with Hawkeye stuff.
Yeah, I think that I'll put him in ace then. I'll put him in ace. Hawkeye's one of my favorite units in FE7.
We stand an ace king.
I love him.
By that I'm talking about Eliwood. Anywho, let's go to
ace king. I mean, I think Matthew is a top, but like a caring, like a service top.
He's a bottom for Layla though. Like, there's no question about it. I don't think.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'll put them like that then. I'll put them.
Yeah.
The reason I thought like, the reason I thought top, I guess, is because of like his interaction with Guy, where he gives him like the food and the gifts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe we're filling the Switch tier up. We're gonna fuck up my formatting, but maybe like he bottoms for Layla.
Yeah.
But tops. You know, it's one. Okay. A headcanon is forming. Our bisexual king, Matthew, exclusively bottoms for women and tops for men because he wants to disrupt gender roles.
Go for it. Sure. However, I do only ship him with Lair, I think. So, I mean, this is,
that's
at
fair.
least for
That's
me,
fair.
he's definitely in the bottom. Yeah, but Switch is fine, I think. But I know that's another one of Rocher's favorite characters. If you're watching this, let me know what you think down below. Anyways, okay.
We're gonna cause issues in the tag lock. I'll have to wait until after you finish to upload this.
Yeah.
Speaking of our favorite malnourished Myrmidon,
yeah.
And this is another one where like I thought about putting him in baby, but I think the conclusion I came to is he looks a little bit younger because he's malnourished. Like canonically he's malnourished.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how old he's supposed to be. Don't cancel me if he's like younger or if you think he's younger.
I feel like he's definitely from like 16 to 20, right? He's in that age range. So, it's whatever.
Matthew, apparently Matthew's canonical age is listed as like 17 to 30, and I'm like, just give me a single number. What are you talking about?
I don't know why I thought Matthew was like 21 or something, but maybe that was just my own headcanon, so figure out that. That's fine.
Anime ages.
Yeah, Guy's a difficult one though, because Guy, all of his supports are basically just like, I want to be stronger than you. He's very much the shonen protagonist. He's just like Naruto, right? So he's just like, is that just an ace? Is that just an aromantic? I don't like.
I'm gonna put him in aromantic. I think he has that. I think he has a strong sex drive actually, and that's part of what drives him to want to be stronger.
Yeah,
is just sort of like that.
He has a romance with getting stronger. He has a romance with his sword, but that's about it.
The killing edge is the only lady for me.
Exactly, absolutely. I have a lot to say about this boy.
Oh, okay. Well, let's bring the boyfriend up too, so we can talk about them together.
I hope I didn't peek the mic. I think I did. So I don't know if you've seen these two's support conversations.
I have actually. It's one of the few I have.
This is the gayest support conversation I've ever read in Fire Emblem history. Like, there is not even like a straight explanation to this one. Basically, to summarize for all of you watching who don't know, in their A rank support, Lucius basically goes, "Oh, why don't you settle down with a lady sometime, Raven? Like, you've done enough fighting. You've gotten your revenge, or you need to look past your revenge. You can just settle down and have a quiet life." And then he's basically just like, "Well, I have you around. You could just chill at home, right?" And then it's like. It's the most gayest thing I've ever read, but like in the best way possible.
Have you seen the Priscilla Lucius where she shows up and she's like, "Oh, hey Lucius, like I'm looking for my brother. You probably know where he is because you're always spending time together with each other. You gay little twink, you."
And then to add on to it, right? Sarah, like for 2 support conversations, is fully convinced that Lucius is a girl. So, there you have it. We stand. I mean, Lucius is definitely going bottom, right? I mean, I think this is just the most obvious answer in the whole list.
Yeah, I think we have to put someone else in bottom so that they can be directly next to each other.
Hey, Matthew's there, and Matthew and Layla could, link up vertically as well.
Okay, I'll move Matthew. I defer to your FE7 expertise, but I got my headcanon out there at least for the world to hear.
No, I do agree with that. Like, if he was to be shipped with Guy, then I see it. You know, I definitely see it. But yeah, no, I fully ship Raven and Lucius. Like, I go full Fujoshi with that shit. So, anyways, we should probably move on before I start rambling more.
I'm gonna put Wallace in who?
You think so?
Yeah, he's lost forever. Maybe. No one knows who he is because he's always lost.
Okay, you know what? Yeah. Okay, that's a fair point. Yeah.
And if you train the lords, who are the coolest characters, you don't even get him anymore. He never comes back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is true.
Because you get Geats instead. I think most people get Wallace instead of Geats because it's, especially on like Hector hard mode, it's really hard to train them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Level 50 is such a high benchmark too.
Yeah, if you play the Lin story mode, then apparently it's a lot more doable. But still, I've never been able to get him, so...
I think that it should be like 40. I think 40 would be more reasonable.
Yeah, even like 45.
50 is like 2 of them have to be level 20 and 1 has to be level 10. Like, that's so much for that early in the story.
Absolutely.
And then, like, the really funny thing is if you're doing, like, a randomizer where they reclass and you promote them, it counts them as level 1 again.
Does it not count them as 21?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Which is really tragic, because I did reverse recruitment one time.
Yeah.
And Lynn got replaced by Heath. Elliewood was Isadora, Lynn was Athos, Hector was Isadora, Elliewood was Heath, I think, or maybe vice versa. But I was like, I'll promote Heath and Isadora, like, so I can get the Geats chapter. And they counted as level 1, and so I got the Wallace chapter instead.
Yeah.
But
that's a really interesting point, though, because, you know, our tag look, if you haven't gone and seen it, me, Follow, and Roche were playing through Placing Played, switching through all the chapters, so if you're interested in that, go right ahead. But what I was going to say with that was we couldn't promote ourselves, as in our Lord units, until we got the Heaven Seal. So maybe there's a different randomized option that you can do, but we couldn't do it even with the right equipment, like guiding rings and stuff like that. So, I don't know, that's just an interesting point.
I think that might be a randomizer thing.
It's probably an option that we didn't select.
The ROM.
Of course. Anywho, though,
we talked about him
Marcus,
a bunch. Do we want to? Oh, we can go Marcus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say. Yeah. So with Marcus, we're just rating him with the FE7 story, right? I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same person. I will do 6 at some point with someone else.
Yeah.
But Marcus is such an asshole. Like, this guy is such a prick. Have you read his supports?
I've read all. I told you, I've read every single support.
The 6 and 7 ones?
People. I haven't read the 6 ones. I haven't read a lot of the Binding Blade ones.
I feel like every support I've read of him is just him being an asshole. Like, he's not wrong, but he could be nicer about it. Like, he has a support with Lowen, where he's like, Lowen, you're worthless because you're worse than Harkin and Isadora. And it's like, okay,
basically.
pick, like, the early Cavalier is worse than Harkin, who joins with cap stats. Marcus, be nicer.
Yeah. They do have a nice moment towards the end. I do remember when, you know, they have they share, Lowen shares a bit of food and stuff, and then you get a little side where it's like, okay, he's strict, but he's not like a demon, you know.
I only got the B support. I didn't want to torture Lowen anymore.
There you have it. That's a difficult one. I mean, Switch maybe? I don't know. I feel like he's definitely loyal towards whoever he's, you know, serving under, right, in quotation marks.
I see what you did there.
I'm not gonna say any, you know.
I can do that.
I'm not saying any degenerate stuff out of my mouth. But
I would call him a toxic Switch, though. I think he's a dick. Nothing he ever says is wrong, but he could be nicer about it. Like in FE6, he has
very nice towards Elliewood and Roy, but other than
he's
that,
nice to them. That's true. His support with Roy, though, he just tells Roy like, everyone but me is worthless, and I'm just like, you're not wrong, but don't be a dick. He just got that, like, albeit not unearned, but like he has the confidence, but he's kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
What do we think about this guy makes me think of Ed and Eddie. Lo and behold.
Yes. I don't know what you're referencing.
But he can't behold. His hair's in his eyes.
Yeah, it's just a little joke on my channel. But anyways, I don't know with Lowen. The only one romantic one he has is with Rebecca. But even then, I don't know. I do feel like I don't know. What do you think? Because I want to hear your opinion first, and I might be able to work with it.
Drawing from the Marcus Lowen support, I think that he's the bottomest bottom who's ever bottomed. Marcus says you're worthless, and he's like, yes, sir, I'll continue to be worthless. Oh, I'm doing 10 million push-ups. 10 million is not enough. Do 20 million. 10 million's only enough for good people.
I love how you're not even exaggerating. That's basically the support conversation.
Yeah.
You're just like, you got to do the amount because you're not a, high-end.
You're not a true knight, yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
The fact that he brings up Isadora and Harkin, who are like... Harkin in particular is one of the strongest units in the game. Like, obviously, the big thing that holds him back is availability.
Yeah, sure.
He's physical.
I mean, I'm a Corel stan, but even I can kind of, say that. At least slightly, But anyways, yeah. Bartray's an interesting one because he's very fiery, but I feel like, much like, I mean, I don't know if we want to reference other things, but, he always reminds me of, like, Naruto's, like, might guy, of course. He's always passionate. He always just wants to fight, wants to get stronger. I feel like he does not care about, that sort of thing, at least in my eyes, but you've played FE6. You might know him a little bit more than I do. So, again, I'll pass it over to you, I think.
So, I'm not as familiar with the Bartray, Carla, Fear, Karel lore, but I know that I think Bartray is mostly aromantic. I don't know about his sexuality, but I think he's mostly aromantic, but he meets Carla and... Well, so they have a history in FE7, even before they meet in the arena. They have a history, which, is why she joins you.
Weird, though. I don't know if you've read it or not, but it's really ambiguous, sort of. Because, Bartray's A-rank support with her is the first time where he goes, oh, wait, you're a woman. Like, he doesn't view her as that for the longest time, because he's just like, oh, I'm just going to fight you. I'm just going to get stronger. So, in a sense, it's almost like a rivalry more than, like, a marriage or a romantic thing, I almost feel.
They do end up... I think he does eventually, really love her, because he...
I'm guessing
they have the kid, obviously, but then, even beyond that, spoilers for the end of FE6, but the recruitment of Karel talks about, how she died and how it affected Karel and Bartray in different ways.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And just sort of, her being... the linchpin of the three of them. And I kind of don't like how FE7 made her a joke character as a result of that, because it takes this thing that is pretty interesting and left up to interpretation, and it gives you an answer, and the answer is a joke. It'd be one thing if... I don't think they should have given an answer anyway, but it'd be one thing if they gave a serious answer, but to make her, a joke character just feels a little bit frustrating.
I suppose the one thing that I didn't even notice until we had this conversation, but the whole Fear's character is kind of interesting, I just realized, because she looks very cold and stern, much like her mother, but she is very much her father, with the whole, I want to be strong, I want to do this and that, so that's kind of interesting, I guess. But, I mean, to answer your question, I would either go ace or aromantic, it's up to you. I'll leave that one up to you, I think.
I'm going to put him in aromantic, but I think that he did have, a whirlwind romance. I think it's one of those sexuality and whatnot is fluid. And I think that...
Sure.
I don't think he would have ever identified as alloromantic. I think that even when he was in that whirlwind romance, he would not have identified as alloromantic. It's just sort of one of those... our relationships with other people can be complicated.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But, yeah, I guess in universe explanation as well, I think at this point, as in Blazing Blade, I don't think he's very much into romance. I feel like his views are definitely changing Binding Blade. So, yeah, no, I agree with that. Let's go.
What about Boswin?
Is Oswin the same as Marcus in that sense, do you think? Because he is also very loyal.
He is very loyal. I don't like the Marcus comparison because I really like Oswin, and I think he's not an asshole.
Hey,
I think, he handles Hector with the baby gloves in a way that Hector needs to, but when Hector, strikes out, he's like, okay, you know, this is not worth my time. I'm just gonna, like, Hector's trying to leave, and Osmond's like, I can't let you leave, and Hector's like, I can't let you stop me, and he's like, okay, I'll just go with you then. That's fine.
No, he's a great character, absolutely. No, but I was just about to say, like, even the game compares the two, as in, like, if you play Eliwood mode, Marcus is the one watching over your tactics. If you play Hector mode, then you got Osmond. Like, they're clearly, like, meant to be, you know, two sides of the same coin in a sense, but...
The good side and the bad side. I mean, Armor Knights are better than Paladins, I guess, confirmed.
Yeah, okay. I hate to do my boy Melanus like this, but I do feel like no bitches is the only appropriate thing to bring it.
If we put...
I mean, here's the thing. You gotta understand, he doesn't even have a child in FE6, right? So, you know, I hate to say this, but, yeah.
I just really like... He's the comedy supports that I like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Like, his
and Nino's one is really funny.
His support with... everyone talks about his Marcus one, because the Marcus support, he basically says, like, use the Jagan, don't bench him. I really like his Vida support, where she's constantly trying to murder him, and he's distracting her with pies.
Yeah, and at the very end, she's just like, well, come back for more. And then he's just like, don't come back anymore, please.
Yeah, it's a
pretty good one, yeah.
It's very funny.
Have you seen the Vader and Dorcas support? That's one of my favorites, by the way.
I have not. We can talk about Veda. Wow, I mean, there's not much to talk about, right?
Yeah, there's not much to talk about at all.
Do you want to...
I do want to explain this support because it's one of the funniest things I've ever read in this entire game, and I want everyone watching to know about this as well.
Oh, for sure.
Basically, Vader and Dorcas get set up by, I think it's Eliwood. Eliwood's just like, you two go meet up so you can discuss battle preparations for the next fight or whatever, right? Every single one of their supports, they just miss each other by a few seconds, and they get more and more infuriated with each other, and it's the funniest thing ever.
Oh, I think I've heard about that one.
Yeah, in the A rank, they like look at each other and they're just like, Eliwood couldn't have meant this person, right? And then it's kind of left ambiguous, but it's so funny. It's hysterical.
I love that. I love the idea of a support where the two characters just don't ever interact.
Yeah, they don't even get closer to each other. It's like, what does B support even mean? They're not even closer to each other.
They just are wandering around. It does kind of give that, like, story versus gameplay of, like, why are these two units closer? Which we get sometimes with, like, oftentimes B supports will be, like, the two characters get into a fight. Like, Annette and Mercy is a big one where they're, like, they leave and they say, I hate you. Their bond has grown stronger. What?
Yeah, it's pretty classic.
But... Canas.
Now,
how do we feel about Canas?
As I call him.
Kansas?
What do you think? Yeah, it's a joke. I mispronounced his name the original time, and then I just went with it for the rest of the playthrough.
I hate Bates engagement. If you mispronounce something enough, like I say Yoshi all the time about the dinosaur that Mario rides. Bates engagement.
Right. For a second, I'm just like, who are you talking about? No,
Yoshi. Yoshi, the little dinosaur.
Yeah. But no, here's Kansas to me. But what I was trying to say was he has an obsession with dark magic, right? I think he loves dark magic more
Elder magic? Excuse you? Elder magic?
Whatever.
Don't call it dark magic. Canas would hate you for that.
Dark magic, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, because he's so interested in the dark arts and all that, I genuinely don't think he has any interest in his own wife, let alone his children, because he literally went on a journey, leaving his family behind just to learn the potentials of, you know, like the flux magic or whatever it's called.
And then he dies in the blizzard at the end.
Yeah, that's
his character ending is that he dies.
Sure,
just out of nowhere.
That was bizarre. Yeah, I guess he got Fimble vetted by Limstella or something.
Do we want to put him in no bitches then? Because
canonically he does have bitches, that's the thing.
But so he abandons them, you said. Like, he straight up abandons his wife and children?
If you're gonna put him in no bitches, you need to make a new category called no bitches, parentheses, and then, like, what do you call it? Like, you know, that's his choice, right? What's the word I'm looking for?
No bitches by choice.
Yeah, there you go. You have it. Yeah.
I don't know what you would call that. Okay, I'll put him in ace, but he is a toxic ace.
Oh yeah.
I'll put him in ace as like an omega toxic, like abandons his wife.
I genuinely think he gets turned on by books more than his own wife, and I'm being dead serious after reading through all the supports.
So. Oh no, Rebecca, keep the secret book away from him.
Yeah. It's called Secret Book for a reason, you get what I mean?
Speaking of Rebecca, how do you think about her brother?
Dan or Dart, whichever you want to go with.
Depends on the translation, right?
Dart's interesting as well. Well, no, it's because he went by Dan originally, but then he lost his memories, and then he goes by Dart.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that they amnesiafy him.
Yeah, of course. That's very good support with Rebecca, though, with the whole finding out about their siblingry and all that, but... No, with Dart, it's difficult. It's another one, kind of in a sense similar to Canas there, where he's super, like, his one dream is just to find the One Piece, basically, right? He's A-rank support. He's just like, I'm gonna go find the greatest treasure out there. I don't know if he's interested in women, or men, for that matter, or anyone. He just wants the fun of adventure, right? The thrill of adventure.
Yeah, I think we put him in Ace, then? Ace or Arrow?
Go for it. Either or. Although I think Aromatic makes more sense, right? If he's next to Bartray, I don't know.
Yeah, sure. No, he's on the...
Any sound logic.
Maybe he's like... I mean, that's the other thing, is like, these often overlap. Not always, though. Like, I'm asexual, but I have a wife that I love.
Yeah.
And, like, there are definitely aromantic people. Not gonna brag. Not gonna brag, but I love my wife.
You got that A-rank support, that's all I can say.
We get the double fire affinity for the extra might and hit.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one, yeah.
Okay, your hatred of Pegasus Knights. This is where we'll disagree, because I like this unit.
I kind of touched it, but I've never used her in my life. I never will. But
I know. I saw you didn't even recruit her. I saw that you didn't even recruit her.
I didn't recruit 2 of them, actually. Thank you very much.
You were just like, I could deploy her sister to recruit her, but do I really want to do that? And then you just didn't. And I was like, Tatsu, no!
But I don't even remember which one she was. But basically, she has that support with Kent, and I think Ace makes the most sense because she gets romantic with Kent with that final A-rank support. But yeah, I couldn't see them both being particularly interested in that sort of thing.
Yeah, they're just an Ace couple, and I love that for them. I love that they found each other. The Ace
Flare
support.
in a Landa, I don't know. But
yeah.
Now, the gold, I don't know what he specifies in this category, but what I can say 100%, this man is 100% bisexual.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Reading from his supports. Reading from his supports, he is 100% bisexual. Who was it again? I was reading the supports yesterday. I don't remember if it was Harkin or someone, but he basically jokes around, basically being like, hey, you know, I could have hit it on with you, and then the other person's just like, whoa, are you being serious? And he's just like, no, I was just joking. But
I think it's Matthew.
We all know he wasn't joking. Oh, maybe it was Matthew. Yeah,
I know he supports the thieves. All support each other, which is very funny to me. Because like, I mean, one of the reasons that's funny is like they're fighting over the same fail contract. Yes, there's the secret shop, but like that's the end of the game.
Isn't Jafar promoted, though?
Jafar's promoted, but Matthew and Legault are fighting over the same fail contract.
But, I mean, like, alright, I'm sorry, Rocher, but who uses Matthew over Legault when you look at Legault's stats? That's all I need to say with that conversation.
I agree, but some people are going to get mad. I think Matthew's better because he's available more. Like, some of the treasures he gets are better that Legault can't get.
Yeah,
but...
also, I don't really mind if your community gets mad because this isn't my channel. Moving on, let's... Legault's a difficult one. I think maybe Switch. He's
I was gonna say I'd go there too.
I think.
He's very flexible, deft hands.
Right, he can open up any lock. Anyways, Jafar is definitely a ace. Yeah, for a second.
I think aromantic or ace.
He has a C rank support where with Nino, where he says how much he loves her, and I don't know how questionable that is in terms of age range. We're not going to go there. But, and he's like, I'll protect you for the rest of my life sort of thing. So he's definitely not aromantic, but yeah, he's definitely ace, I think.
I remember I got that support, and I thought it was like a fatherly thing, right? And then they got their paired ending, and they got married, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know how I felt about that.
Yeah. Apparently Nino's 14, even though she looks 6, but even then, you know...
That's still... I know that obviously different countries, but in the United States, that's, like, still below the age of consent. And
I guess the
it's
argument
also
was
icky
that
to
this
me.
was set in, like, you know, the 1500s, but even then,
That's
as a
true.
contemporary viewer playing this game, it does feel a little icky. However, that is not the most ickiest support conversation. You know what is? It's Priscilla and Raven, because Priscilla actually is in love with her brother, and I don't get it either. I don't even want to go there.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say, because, where is she?
Yeah.
She has a racism conversation. Like, she has a support where she says, like, some racist stuff about the Sakaeans.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, an actual support where she makes, like... I'm not going to say it because it's also offensive to, like, some of the stuff she says is offensive to, because you mentioned that Sakae is, like, pretty obviously Mongolian coded, right? Like, whether from the Yurts and everything, and the nomadic tribe and stuff. And she uses, like, it's really icky, because she uses some sort of, like, real-life racist language around, various nomadic tribes,
I mean, look, I hated her to begin with, but now I hate her even more, so that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But no, I completely
really
missed
icky.
that one. That's fair.
Yeah, it gives you more reason to hate her.
Icky in another sense was Priscilla and Raven, let's just put it that way, because it was not fun. Anywho, over to Isadora.
In the ROM hack, they're lesbians with each other now, and I think that's a much better shipping than...
maybe.
The Burger King hack that I'm playing, they're lesbians with each other, which I think is better than her and her brother.
Guy and Priscilla is rather cute, though, because they're both... it's like watching, like, I don't know, like your younger siblings, like, find a date or something, where it's just like, you two are so innocent, but fair enough. But yeah, no, Guy and Priscilla is the one I recommend. But no, I think Isadora's definitely top, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that...
okay. Might as well get Harkin in the picture as well, while we're here, I feel.
I think so. I think that Harkin is also a top. I think this is a two Beyblades situation. I don't know if you've seen the meme, like, where it's, like, two bottoms in a relationship with each other, and then two tops in a relationship with each other, and the tops one is just Beyblades smashing each other on a bed.
Wait, is it because tops is in, like, spinning tops?
Yeah,
is that the joke?
Because that's the joke.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll take it.
I think this is a Beyblade situation.
Yeah, Heath's the bottom.
Who's the bottom?
Heath's the bottom.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, no, I can see it. Let me protect the women and children.
Yeah, well, that too. He's very much... This is really interesting about Heath, which I never understood why he's kind of like this, but he's really formal, and he always goes back on his words when he finds out someone's a noble and stuff, and he's just like... Oh shit, I was so impolite there, let me retake back my words and stuff. And to top things off, he basically says with Vader's A-rank support... To top things off? Well, there you have it. But with Vader's A-rank support, he's basically like, I will, like, die for you, basically. So, it speaks words, yeah. Gates, I don't know. I have read all his supports. I don't fully understand his character, but...
I'll put him in who, then?
Your call.
Next to...
Okay. Sure.
We can just assume that people miss both of them, I guess. Somehow. Okay. You managed to both train and not train.
We missed Wallace in our tag log, so spoilers, but,
Okay, you are the Corel. You are the Corel stan. I will defer to your judgment 100% here.
I want to ask something. This is slightly off topic, but in the FE fanbase, is there a group that actually likes Corel, or is it all just like Harkin's the best, fuck Corel? Like, because that's all I keep seeing.
I think that there's probably some people. The thing is, like, you can never, with Fire Emblem units, make a definitive statement. Well, I see one! I see one!
Have you seen any other Corel stands other than me?
I feel like there's gotta be some out there. There's no unit who's so bad that if you say, fuck this unit, you're not gonna get some Twitter replies. There's no one who's just not liked by everyone. I mean...
If you're a Corel fan down below, hit me up. I genuinely do mean that, by the way. Anywho. No, Corel. So, well, funny story. Let me just add this tiny little bit to the start. But I accidentally recruited this man. I wasn't meant to. I was trying to get Harkin. I accidentally recruited him, and then I just fell in love with how much this man would dodge, how much he would crit. Look, also, men with long hair do something to me. That's all I can say. So especially this design of him compared to his FE6 one, I definitely have hearts over. However, I do think he is probably ace, personally.
Yeah, he's the demon swordsman, right? He just...
Yeah, that too. And I feel like a lot of Sakaean characters do tend to be on the ace spectrum. I don't know why that is, but I guess it's just kind of their tribal thing, right?
I think just the way they're portrayed is often very stoic, which stoicism is not always... Stoicism and asexuality are not always... linked to each other. It is a bit of a stereotype, but I do also think if we're going off of vibes, sometimes they are linked, but not always. And we can get some very fiery characters, like Kanas, I would say. I wouldn't call Kana stoic.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call.
He's obsessive, if anything. Yeah.
I wouldn't call Fiora stoic. These are just like more. These are strong personalities who.
Yeah.
Again, just vibes.
Absolutely.
Speaking of stoic characters who I don't think are ace, I think Renault is a top, and I can't really say why.
Okay, so I did a bit of homework with Renault, and I actually came up with a bit of an argument with this, or a bit of a discussion with this, right?
Ooh.
I don't know if you know, but Renault used to be a mercenary. That's what happens in his support conversations.
That's what his stats are too. I don't know if you've seen, like, he has more physical unit stats despite being a priest.
That's a good point. I didn't connect the two, but I suppose that makes sense. In a way, he's very much regrets his past, and to just catch everyone up, if you don't know, Renault used to be a mercenary who killed a whole bunch of different soldiers, and then eventually in his adult life he became a monk. He went into monkhood to clear his sins off and basically spread like positivity around. I feel like he's not, because of this, I think in his mercenary days, top, yep, absolutely. But I think because he's gone through this and he's in his monkhood, I don't think he thinks he's worthy enough to have relationships or anything like that in that regard. And I feel like he fits within, in a sense, a special cause of either ace or aromantic, and that's kind of what I was thinking about this video. Renault's a really interesting character though, because it's based on his situation more so than, but he just has too much regrets within his life, and I can clearly tell that, right? And you kind of see that throughout his supports.
I do think it's a shame that those supports are locked behind hitting end turn for 100 turns on the final map. Like, it's already bad when that happens in, like, earlier maps or whatever, but you were on the last stretch. You're never getting the supports normally. So where would you end up putting him then?
Mercenary Renault, absolutely agree with top, like I said. But if we're talking about modern Renault right now, he is just, he's a man on a mission. He's a man on a mission to cleanse off all his sins. I can only see him being like a romantic. That's only my personal judgment here, but kind of like how
we can fill out that tier. We can fill out that tier a little bit. It was looking a little slim.
Yeah, absolutely.
Athos?
Grandpa Athos. I don't know where to put him. I don't have an argument with this one. I really don't. He doesn't have any support conversations for one.
No supports. He's like a major figure in the plot, but it's like as a legend, right? Like he's the living legend.
He's so cool though. I'm sorry, but like he has custom critical animations and all that. It's amazing.
Everything is custom about him. I think it's really cool.
Actually,
I guess the only like real stuff we get is he does have a. Is this the guy? The main villain is the main villain. Yeah, he has like a conversation with Nurgle, and they have some sort of history.
They used to be friends, and then Nurgle got obsessed with power, and then Athos was like, "Shit, I need to be immortal so I can stop this man." And then that's basically what happened.
I choose to believe that they used to be more than friends, that they were lovers, and that's why he takes it so personally.
I can see it. Honestly, I can see it.
There's nothing in the text that supports it, but I choose to believe that.
Absolutely not.
Because I also think, like, you know, obviously. Another reason why he is so passionate is he's saving the world, right? But I do think that there's a little bit of a personal in there.
Also,
and not to devalue friendship, too, because them being friends also makes it personal.
Absolutely, yeah. Also, though, the man's lived for 600 years. I'm sure he's experimented once or twice. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah. No, I think you can't go 600 years without trying out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Which means to see what flavor he likes.
Also gets in Switch, or is he in
I think so as well. I think so as well.
I don't know.
Okay. I think you know, he is obsessed with power, but I don't think that is mutually exclusive with doing the horizontal tango.
Absolutely. Now we get to the minor characters, the non-playable ones.
I don't actually know who this is. Is this Eliwood's mom?
I think that's Eleonora, right? Yeah.
Eleonora. God, imagine Elbert, Eleonora, and Eliwood. Like, why do they all have the same names? And then Roy is just nothing, right? Like,
yes. So I was playing through Blazing Blade. Oh no, sorry, I was playing the start of Binding Blade, and I was saying, why didn't Eliwood name his kid Elroy? That would have just fixed everything, right?
I think the other way around. I don't like that everyone who's related to each other has names that are super easy to confuse with each other. Like, that's the Pegasus problem, is I can't keep Farina, Forina, and Farina, and Funa, and Fungana, and Fongana all separate from each other. Like, they're all the same.
They didn't have much entertainment in the 1600s. This is all they could do, so, you know.
Do we want to put her in who?
Sure.
Because we didn't recognize. Or Sorry, you were gonna say something.
I mean, I recognized her. She, in Eliwood and Ninian support, we learned that she was very much into dancing and stuff, but that's basically the only bit of information we get. And once a year, Albert and Eleonora sort of flirt a little in the yearly dance or something, but, you know, that's basically all we get.
Yeah, I know Isadora is, like, the one assigned to protect her, but do we get anything about that in Isadora's supports, or not really?
No, not really, no.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I know nothing about this character.
Yeah,
I want to go Who, but if you have vibes, I'll put her wherever.
I mean, she's definitely not aromantic. She's clearly in love with Albert, of course. I can clearly tell that from the context and the backstories and stuff. Is she Ace? I don't know. Is Albert Ace? I don't know either. This is a difficult one, but we might as well do Albert while we're here, right?
Yeah.
Topic.
I mean, we could put them, like, both in bottom, sort of the opposite of the Beyblades. Yeah. I feel like they're both very, yeah, we got the Beyblades up here, the two tops, and then two bottoms make it work. I think that they both desire bottoming, but they're willing to, because of that deep passion for each other, sort of fulfill the opposite role in order to please each other.
Right, no, I got you.
I find it interesting which bosses they choose to include in the tier list, because it's not always like
it's all
the
of them. Secondary antagonists.
Yeah.
As well as the main ones, yeah. Like the tertiary, is that the right word?
Tertiary, antagonists?
I think? Yeah,
because we've got like Eric here, right? Who's only in one chapter, who's just an FE7
Eric's
or FE6 reference.
I'm kidding.
Eric's a Chad? Yeah. Where do we put the Chad then?
No, he's a no bitches. Who am I kidding?
No bitches?
I mean, he's a Chad in my heart, but, you know, he's a no bitches.
He gets captured like a little bitch.
I do think his father Darren is also no bitches, even though that makes no canonical sense whatsoever.
Is that,
but I think it just makes
purple
sense.
hair dude's
I think
Darren,
it's that one.
right?
I'm sorry, the preview is really small, but I think it is that one.
I think it's purple hair. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the purple hair. No,
it's I really don't like Darren. I think he's a prick. I think that it's sort of generational trauma. Oh no, you're obviously not meant to, yeah.
Darren let go of his own son. He's just like, I'm just gonna go hunger for power. It doesn't matter if Eric dies. In fact,
he left him to die.
Eric in the end of it. Yeah.
I think that then Eric becomes an asshole in 7, and I think it's just sort of like the generational trauma passed down.
Cycle, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely.
And if we ever get like an FE7 or an FE6 reference or sequel, like one that comes after, then Eric will be Eric's son will also be on that same fucking map. They're always going to use that map.
I really like that. I mean, I can clearly tell you're kind of teasing it a bit, but I thought that was a really cool touch.
Yeah.
When I finally got to play that, yeah. But no, okay. So Fargus though is like 200% top. It's not even a question, right?
Don't you dare touch me. He's got strict rules.
You know all about FE trivia, so you might correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think he's the only boss in this game where if you kill him, then you get a game over.
Yes.
I did hear that somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, even if so, you can kill him and get a game over, but even if you just attack him and deal like 1 damage with like Walter, Rebecca, who don't face counter, you get a game over.
Well, yeah, so, like, if that isn't top energy, I don't know what is. That's all I have to say. He literally forces you to shut down your game if you touch him. I'm just saying.
What about Lloyd and Linus?
Linus Tech Tips. I mean, both of them. All I can say is they're both incredibly gay. Not for each other, but they are both incredibly gay. Yeah. Well, we don't want another pressure.
I think so. You used Legault. Did you get the Legault boss conversations with them and their morphs?
No, I didn't actually.
It's heavily implied that Legault either dated or was in love with one of them, and I don't remember which one.
I feel like it could probably be Lloyd.
But in the like, they can have the human boss conversation depending on which one of them is the boss of Cog of Destiny. And then he also talks about the morphs, and he says, like, it breaks my heart, like, to see you like this. I have to kill you to... I have to kill you to yeah.
Gotcha.
And I have a video, very old video on the channel where I had Legault promote into assassin and silence or kill every single boss for the rest of the game.
Oh really? Yeah.
Where I just clipped them together. It's a really poorly made video, but that's how I got the boss conversations with him, and I'm like, oh, that's, like,
really
interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. Yeah.
So if we have Legalton Switch, that doesn't answer anything for us, though, because that doesn't say top or bottom.
I feel like Lloyd's a Switch, though.
Which one is Lloyd? Is Lloyd the...
Left.
Left?
It's the one, the green one, yeah.
I get them confused.
Also, adding to that,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think Linus is a top. He's the, like, extra rage, right?
Yeah. Adding to that, though, Nino views those two as brothers, and she's 100% supportive of this sort of thing, so...
Oh, for sure.
That's all I'm saying, yeah. Ursula, she's a top. What else can I say? Yeah.
I think she's homophobic, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If she's if there's a bolting spammer, there's like an 85% chance that you're a top. Like, Sonya as well. We might as well throw Sonya in there as well.
Where's Sonya?
In the middle.
There she is, yeah.
Yeah, she's 100%. Like,
throw her up there, too. Oh my god, these two are so annoying to fight as well. Like, Sonya's just, like, hitting you while you're going across the water.
Sonya's annoying. Ursula's not too bad, but yeah, Sonya is annoying. Sonya's really interesting as well, because she's a morph, but she has a whole bunch of personality, which I never really understood, because I know Limstella and Thingy. Oh, what's the other dude's name now? I forget now. Bramimond? No, maybe not.
I read a copy pasta about why Sonya has emotions.
Okay.
And it was really weird, the conclusion they came to, but the idea was that she's supposed to, because she was supposed to seduce the leader of the Black Fang, right? Brendan?
Yeah, Brendan Reed,
and they, as a result, wanted her to be, like, more human appearing than regular morphs.
That makes sense.
And the conclusion that they came to is that by giving her, we're into the video, so I can probably say this. The conclusion they came to, which I don't really know, well, not tits, by giving her a vagina, it gave her personality, which I was like, that's a weird conclusion to come to, and I don't know how you got there, because the only other one, and I guess we can talk about him, the only other, morph who has personality traits is Kasuna, right? That's his name? The magic seal?
No, does he talk, though?
In the flashbacks. So if you get the flashbacks, you find out that he was considered a defect because he had emotions, and he was like the first morph, and he had emotions, and Nurgle was like, oh, we need to fix this. I'll make adjustments in the future ones.
Yeah.
And so the conclusion that this person came to, that I think was like partially meant to be a joke, but it was that like he also had genitalia, and that's where the emotions come from, because Sonya's the only other one who does, of the morphs, have emotions, and there would be like...
You know what, I weirdly like that theory.
It's really weird. It's really weird.
Well, because you look at them, and well, even with Kishuna, he does have, he's clearly masculine, right? Whereas you look at Limstella, that's a gender ambiguous character. You know?
Yeah.
That's very much, in Nurgle's eyes,
and Effidel too, right?
Between... Yeah, Effidel. Yeah, that's right. Oh, thank you for reminding me of the name. It took me a second. But yeah, no. So it's really interesting. I do really like the morph characters a lot because of that.
I do think that we end up with Kishuna in a romantic.
Okay.
Though, despite him, like, despite his characterization being defined by the fact that he has very strong emotions, I don't think that any of those emotions lead him to be... to have romantic, like, allo-romantic desires. I think that it's more about, like, just wanting to experience everything else the world has to offer.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the other morphs? We've got three left?
I mean,
or are you a morph? Wait, who's a morph? Is that the sniper, right? No, this is the sniper.
That's...
I don't know the hooded people.
Hold on, the preview is kind of small, that's the issue. I'm on the wiki right now just so I can see the bigger close-ups, I mean.
We can put Effidel and Limstella in. I don't know where.
Okay. Oh, well, definitely Aromantic and Ace. Well, yeah, just Aromantic.
Yeah, they don't have emotions.
Because they're morphs,
really.
Right? Yeah, they don't have emotions.
And again, like, not that all Aero people are emotionless, but... if you are emotionless, you don't have the drive. No, like, I don't want to I don't want to imply any, because there are some stereotypes around that, and I don't want to imply that like it goes both ways or whatever. But I do think they're like the canonical lack of emotions leads them to then just not have drive.
Yeah, totally. Oh, okay. So chuck the purple hooded guy in who, because he's just a guy called Denning that appears in the castle attack.
He has a message from Lord Nugrel.
Yeah, that's it. I'm surprised you remember that. And the green one is Bramimon, so that's the hero that revived Ninian, of course, at the end of the game.
Interesting that they have Bramimon on here, but not the Berserker, who's Hector's version.
Yeah, or Roland as well.
Roland, yeah, that's what I meant.
No, I mean Roland is Eliwood's dude, and then there's also Urban, I think, which is the Axeman.
Yeah.
I don't have those two in there. I don't know.
But we've got Bada the Beast, apparently.
No bitches.
Yeah. I think Bramimond we can put in who, because it took us so long to figure out who he is.
Well, I mean, partially because I couldn't see the preview, but that's okay. Just check him in.
I'm gonna put, and this will mess up. This will mess up formatting.
Sure.
I think Natalie is a top. I'm surprised
you even remembered her name, because I didn't.
You don't remember Natalie?
I know who she is, I just forgot her name.
It's like, Dorcas is a wife guy, she's the wife. She's the wife guy's wife.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know that.
I'm gonna throw the minor Black Fang people into who as well.
Yeah, sure.
Because I know it's like German and Kenning or whatever.
Yeah, what is that guy's name?
I think.
Oh, Kenneth.
Kenneth, yeah. Kenneth, I was combining him with Henning, who's an FE6 boss.
And then Uhai. I guess we could talk about Uhai a little bit.
Yeah, I like Uhai.
It's a little bit more
I named a D&D character after him, but I don't know where to put him. I'm not putting him in Ace. I mean, I will if you want to. I needed him on screen for formatting purposes.
Throw him in there for now.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, no, Uhai is really interesting. He feels like a FE6 character almost. I don't know, but he reminds me of like, you know, what's that one boss, like Monkey or whatever?
Yeah,
Monkey.
I hate
that boss so much. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of him in terms of personality and all that.
He's got that really stoic nobility.
He's stoic, but he's also very heroic in a sense.
Yeah,
he's very
like that honor code. It's really weird. It's really weird that he's like, I have the honor code that I'll capture Lynn and then release her. But I'm still working for the Black Fang for some reason. Like, that just didn't really make sense to me.
Yeah.
I kind of lean towards bottom for him. I think that he...
Really? I was leaning towards top after we had that.
Oh, you think so?
You decide. Yeah.
What do you think about top then? Make a case for me. Argue it, and I will respond.
I'll
if
try
I'm
my
convinced.
best. I mean, obviously, he doesn't have support conversations. It's basically just based on vibes alone. But Uhai is definitely someone that gets things done. That's all I can really say on that matter. He's very much someone who leads the way, first of all, and just acts upon what he needs to get done. I don't know if, you know, sexually that equates to top, but in terms of a marriage, at least, he's definitely the, you know, the money maker, I feel.
I can see him as a service top.
You know, you can decide, yeah.
I can see him as a service top, you know, sort of showering with gifts and whatnot. No, I buy that. Similarly, I can see Murdoch in that same role.
With Murdoch, should we even be tier listing Murdoch right now? Because I feel like he has much more story in FE6. Because I barely, you know...
He's in a village, though. He's in a village. He gives you the warp staff. The canonical here.
Technically?
Faye is in a village, and she fucking lies to you. She says that the treasure items in the desert are all near bones, and that's just not true. Which is so funny.
That is true, though, isn't it?
No, it's not. Like, there's one item near bones, and all the rest of them are scattered around, away from everything. Like, Faye's just a liar.
Well, she does that. See, okay, I have an argument. This is probably going to be my last thing that even has a sense of credibility.
The sticking point?
What is it? Is it King Desmond? Is that his name?
Is that the dad? Zephyr's dad?
Yeah, Zephyr's father. Yeah. He's definitely the bottom to the wife. I forget her name now. Wait, I have the page up here. To Helene, of course. I think she's definitely the top. Let's be real. Even though they do hate each other, but I'm saying back in the day.
No, they fucking hate each other. Yeah. It's like it's a weirdly like it's a, I guess not weirdly, like it is just a political marriage.
They absolutely fucked up Zephyel's life though. I'm sorry, but
and then by extension so many other people's, right? Like it's their fault Hector died, it's their fault.
I mean that's how war works, right? So in a way it's a realistic depiction, but yeah.
Brendan.
I don't really have much else to say. Yeah. Well, he's a bottom though, because if he's attracted to Sonia. Like,
no, I buy it. I think that he's like I think he's sort of like the you know, the business person who's like making all those high stakes deals all day and then just wants someone to step on them when they get off.
Like the secretary or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's like that. Like he's just battle hardened, grizzled, really would give off top energy on the front lines. But then like when he gets home he's like, hey Sonia, do you want to try putting the handcuffs on me tonight? Who's this?
He doesn't.
This is one of the
Sonia
fucking corrupt guys,
anyways,
right?
Is that Lunge?
Oh, this is Lynn's, like, the guy who was poisoning Lynn's grandfather, right?
Yeah. That's Lynn's great uncle or something. I forget. He's no bitches. Yeah. The only reason he did that was because he had no bitches.
And then this is okay. So I actually do know. This is the guy who is in charge of the bandits that killed Lynn's entire tribe.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
His name is like Glass or something. I'm pretty sure that's who he is. Either that or he's guarding the Manikati. But
good memory though, because I didn't remember that.
There's like, because I know that so in the chapter where you recruit Lil and the Pegasus Knight, she asks the boss of the map, like, hey, you're bandits, like, are you associated with this particular group of bandits? And they're like, no. And she's like, okay, I'll give you mercy, you can flee. And they're like, no, we're gonna kill you anyway. And she's like, okay, well, I would have given you the option, but you gave me no choice. And then in the next time you encounter bandits, you fight the boss, and she's like, hey, are you associated with this group of bandits? And he's like, I'm actually their leader. And she's like, you don't get the option for mercy then. You're the one who killed my entire family and tribe and everything.
Right, yeah.
And
Wallace can only
I think that's this guy.
Yeah. Little fun fact, if you do Wallace and Lynn's support, it's revealed that Wallace took care of the entire tribe that Lynn's family got assassinated by.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because he didn't want Lynn to burden that pain and burden her whole life in revenge and stuff.
That was really kind of him. Now I feel bad for putting
Wallace
him in
is a
who.
G. Yeah.
I'm still keeping him there, though.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think this guy gets no bitches, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all we have left now is Jasmine and Ruby, or whatever their names are, the Bandit Bros.
I don't know.
This is like one of my favorite Fire Emblem archetypes, because they're like just constantly brigand bosses.
I love how they have an A-rank support though as an enemy.
I know. I wish that they would do more of that too.
Yeah, they need to.
Tiering Saga does something really interesting where you have a character who's a blue unit who can get a support with a character who's not a blue unit, and they can give support bonuses to each other.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
But I think that's pretty cool. As for Jasmine and Rose, I think that's their names. I'll put them in Who, because like they're just comedy characters. We don't really know anything about them. Who is just a bunch of people who are on the tier list for some reason. And then Geets and Wazim and Carla.
Yeah, I mean, if you want Carla, then, you know, Carla's definitely in the same as Corel, I think, if you wanted to move her, but other than that, you can leave her in her, it doesn't matter.
But thank you so much for joining me. Do you have anything else you wanted to, any wild theories you want to throw out there before we end the video, or?
I think I have much else. I did all my homework. I got all my notes. I think I've said all of my arguments that I needed to say.
You were very prepared.
If you don't stand
Thank
Hector
you.
and Lynn, then you know I don't want to talk to you. No. Anyways, no. It was an absolute blast and a pleasure to go through this. I didn't expect my first collaboration to be this degenerate, but that's okay. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And I'm hoping for the best for the rest of the series when you do all the other games. You know, So.
And if you are looking to see the other games, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, click on the link to Tatsu's channel. It'll be right underneath the first one in the description. We'll bring you right there.
I upload every day.
And if you are an LGBT plus Fire Emblem creator who's interested in doing this for one of the other casts, reach out to me. Link to my Discord is in the description. Just DM me and we can coordinate and figure it out. I don't know if you're a content creator, if you make mods, just a content creator of some sort, whether it's videos, mods, something in the community, and LGBT, and you're interested in coordinating, I would be super hyped for that. And regardless, have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye. Any Corel stands, please contact me.
Yes.
Please.
Contact Tatsu if you are a Corel stan. The one elusive Corel stan.
Please. I'm so lonely.
She's lonely. In addition to thanking Tatsu for joining me in the video, I want to take a moment to thank my patrons. Each and every one of you are awesome, and you make it possible for me to have some amount of financial security in this rough gig we call YouTube. In particular, I want to thank my pre-promote tier, which includes Gabe the Green, SUP, Herc, Dr. Majalis, Tailored Muffin, Anya, Danielle Kalaskis, George Grenville the 7th PM, Thick Molder, Marin Karen, and Jamie Collins. Also, I want to give a second thank you to SUP. I know I already thanked them earlier, but they have been subscribed for 2 weeks, and because last week's video was edited before their subscription went up, they didn't get a shout out there. So this is your extra second shout out. If you are interested in supporting the channel, there's a link to the Patreon below, but please only do so if you are financially capable of doing it without it impacting you severely. Otherwise, likes, comments, and shares are appreciated, but not required. All that I require of you is that you have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone.